we got to hang out with a few members of the band Shoeless Revolution. We talk about origins in music, the start of the band and La Crosse's music scene, live shows, COVID and touring, and what the guys are excited for in the next year or two. You can find more conversations, food reviews, live music, and events on our website, lacrosselocal.com. I'm Amy.
And I'm Brett.
And this is La Crosse Local.
Grimm. I was born in River Falls, Wisconsin, grew up in Ellsworth, Wisconsin. And what led me to music is pretty wild. My mom and dad met in a show band in the 70s. And they fell in love and they got married and they had kids. And so then as they had children, we kind of just were born and like, hey, if you want to experience this and you want to do this, then you have the opportunity. And so just kind of like crawled my way onto stage and have been like singing and performing on stage since I was 2 years old.
Oh. Yep.
So that's my story.
And Brent, they still do it as a family. They still perform. So you can see them anytime in the Twin Cities or the River Falls area if you wish.
Right.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. That's exciting.
Yeah, we're all performing in some capacity.
You gonna take that on the road to like Branson, Missouri or something like that? Ongoing show?
My dad actually performed in Branson for a few years on the showboat Branson Bell.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
My name is jackkolb-williams. I was originally raised in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Moved to La Crosse to go to school at UWL. Now live here in the Twin Cities. How did I find music? I think my path to that was sort of the way of theater. My mom is a theater director and owned her own theater company, nonprofit for a long time. So I was very much similar to Reed growing up in the arts world, laying in my sleeping bag next to the stage, hanging out, watching productions and stuff. So it was sort of a path of music or theater. And I didn't want to be like my mom, so I chose music and went that direction.
I didn't want to be like my mom. Come on, Deb. She's a legend. Deb. She's a legend.
But in the theater world, I want to do music.
So I kind of grew up in the bar scene, good or bad, in La Crosse, and I remember Shoeless Revolution playing for a while throughout a decade there back in the, I don't know what it was, early 2000s. How does Shoeless Revolution all start?
So our freshman and sophomore year, I started to do some like acoustic stuff around the school, UWL, and I got this offer to play in the cellar at Cartwright Center. And I was like, I asked the one booking, I was like, hey, is that okay if I bring some friends? And she's like, yeah, you have 2 hours, do whatever you want. I was like, okay. So then I had my crew of people and I was like, hey, you want to play, and put together this group. It was labeled Reed Grimm and Friends. That's just what they put up there. And we're like, oh, well, let's be something other than Reed Grimm and Friends. You can keep your name up, but let's have a different name. And so then the first other alternative name was Reed Grimm and the Bubblers.
Huh.
Reed Grimm and the Bubblers. And we're like, okay, that's fun. And we did like 2 shows on campus like that. We did that one. And then we did one in the basement of another, what was it? It was another dorm room or dorm.
Yeah, another dorm hall. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we didn't have gigs for a little bit, but we wanted to keep practicing. And as we did that, we're like, all right, we need to have a different name. And so then it was summertime and we had a gig rehearsing for it. And then I believe it was Jack. We're like, we need a new name. And Jack was like, hey, we're all, barefoot. Let's just call ourselves the Shoeless Revolution for now. We're like, great. And so we did a hand-drawn poster with a picture of like a Polaroid picture of us or something, and then copied it and put it up. And that's how the Shoeless Revolution began.
Nice. So for someone who hasn't seen you guys play before, and it seems like La Crosse, which seems to be home for you guys for a while, what can people expect? The upcoming show, or what have you guys done much so far after COVID, or is this going to be kind of a long time get together for you guys?
We've been actually pretty active over the last few years. We've been doing a lot of private stuff and gigs here and there, like once or twice a year or so, but we've actually been a lot busier just in the last few months. So we've been doing stuff outside, playing festivals and other more private events and things. But then this is definitely like a good coming home to La Crosse. It's been a hot minute since we played in town. So like, this is definitely a good opportunity for that. And when Tammy and Joe hit us up about an opportunity to play at Pearl Street, we're like, absolutely, yeah, let's make it work. So then it's just been kind of evolving into something we can do outside with them. And now Deece is Dead is on the show. So we're looking forward to seeing Cheech and all those fellas and just having a good old time. But yeah, we're dusting off some stuff, bringing back some old familiar faces to play along with us for that show. But yeah, we've just been having a blast doing it lately, and it's been a lot of fun this last summer. So we're looking to keep it going this fall.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of speaking about that, and maybe individually or talking about the band, how did COVID affect this past 18 months not being able to play live? I know I've gone to a lot of shows this past summer outdoors. How was it for you guys?
Man, just like not being able to play. I mean, for me, my, that's kind of my bread and butter is performance. Like I do some teaching, I do some writing for, I can get hired to write songs for organizations like nonprofits and things like that. But for the most part, it's performing, it's touring, it's, doing private parties, weddings, and, corporate events and things like that. So it, definitely took me back and was like, all right, how's this going to work? And so then I ended up doing more teaching, but it gave me an opportunity to write and to, contemplate, the next moves and like, what do I really want to do with all this, And so now that, things are opening back up, it's nice to come back with some familiarity, with Shoeless and with other groups that I've played with, but also, COVID gave me an opportunity to really get some things in place to bring some new music and some new projects to the forefront, which is great.
Yeah, it's definitely been a trying time for artists and just our entire industry in general. It's been crippling, I would say, to that extent. I've been dealing with it a lot, playing a lot, practicing a lot, which has been fun, dusting off my drums and doing that thing. But I also work sort of on the other side of the coin, on the venue side here in the cities. So I've seen, my friends and colleagues, performers that have been really suffering, but then also like on the, like our show's going to be a thing again. Like when are like traditional events going to really fully return? We're really hoping that it can kind of continue this momentum and that, the more and more rates of vaccinations and stuff get higher and higher, we'll keep seeing just better opportunities for artists to perform and for venues to stay open. Cause that's the stuff that I really worry about, especially during COVID times, is losing those institutions and those places where that allows bands like Shoeless to grow and to come out of La Crosse and out of the music scene, and just not having that for almost going on 2 years. If you think about it, it's staggering. And so it's just been a lot to sort of deal with as an industry, and then also on the creative side as performers too. But I say people are resilient, and video has now become such a synonymous thing with live shows, and I just don't see that slowing anytime soon. So the more that we can embrace that stuff and get that technology under our belt, the better you're going to be successful, especially going forward these days.
I've talked to a lot of artists and individual musicians and bands, and it seems like creative people have taken this time to kind of rethink their lives in terms of what they're doing and how they're managing their projects. And it's really kind of interesting what people have taken from this past, 18 months, 2 years. With that, what are you excited for, over the next year or 2 years? Is there anything that's coming up for each one of you guys?
Me personally, I've got a batch of tunes, and songs that I'm recording and, getting that out and just doing the next chapter of my own personal brand and expression. So I'm excited about that. We'll see, how the rest of fall and winter goes as far as being able to play out and that, looking forward to releasing some music in the spring, early summer. And then, have just thought about different projects that are not music. I have some things that are in motion that still need to take solid shape that I'm excited about, but it has, something to do with like this of like, we are creating now, which is a phrase that this is one of my shirts. It's just so everybody knows. But I like the idea of short, potent phrases that just really get to the heart of the matter, whatever that is. And so I'm excited to bring more of that to the forefront. And I'll just kind of leave it at that.
Yeah, I'm excited for just a lot of my nonprofit work and stuff, just how things are ramping up. Hopefully continue to kind of stay this way as far as shows coming back and things. But I guess personally, like, I've been having a ton of fun playing music again lately, which has been just so refreshing and awesome. So yeah, looking forward to doing more stuff with Shoeless and my best friends and just playing music and enjoying each other's company and just rocking. It's a great time.
Coming up, people can check you guys out at Pearl Street Brewery Saturday, October 16th with Deese is Dead. So I'm going to be there. I'm inviting all my friends. I believe there's going to be a bonfire. It's going to be some good fall beer drinking weather. So if people want to find out more about you guys or individual, can you throw out a few website addresses or social media? Where should people go?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. On socials, facebook.com/ReadGrimMusic. Instagram is ReadGrimMusic as well. And then my personal website is just readgrim.com.
Yeah, and then Shoeless you can also find on Facebook too, /Shoeless Revolution. And then I think all the other stuff is on the Pearl Street site. But yeah, we're so happy to be doing that show. And thanks to Pearl Street for being accommodating. We moved it outside, so it's just going to be a great day of enjoying that fall weather, like you said, Brent. Have some tasty Pearl Street beer around a bonfire. Sounds like a pretty awesome time to me.
Yeah. Amen.
Lacrosse Local Podcast is a production of River Travel Media. Do you have an interview idea you'd like to share with us? Message us on Facebook at Lacrosse Local. Find out more about us at lacrosselocal.com, and you can subscribe to the Lacrosse Local Podcast on your favorite podcast app. If you like us, rate us 5 stars. We appreciate it.